Hey, welcome back, guys. It's Kate with Kate's Regretless Life. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in. I'm going to see what the signs and symbols are for the day. We start out with the Queen of Wands in the reverse. We've got the Six of Wands upright, the Six of Pentacles upright. A lot of pastel shades, pastel colors here. We do have an awful lot of, it looks very Eastery to me, actually, even though we've already passed through Easter. But double sixes here are terrific. This is sharing, caring, this is kind energy. But interestingly enough, we start out with a Queen of Wands in the reverse, which is someone who is not sharing, caring, or, connecting with another person right now. In fact, they believe that other people should be doing for them. Queen of Cups is upright. To clarify the Queen of Wands in the reverse, let me get one more on that. We have got a Three of Swords and the Temperance card. Okay, so this actually gives us a slightly different image. So we have a divine feminine who is typically incredibly loving, incredibly balanced. Yes, she could be a water sign, or she could be a fire sign, specifically Sagittarius. But she has been heartbroken. And anyone, no matter how loving, giving, and kind, and typically balanced they are, when they are betrayed and heartbroken, I think it is fair to say that anybody for a while, retreats into themselves, feels like they don't really want to give, maybe because they're too exhausted and too wounded. The Queen of Wands in the reverse is either someone who doesn't feel very good about themselves, or someone who feels super entitled to everything and they want everybody to do stuff for them. Now that we can see she's actually a really beautiful individual. Typically she's a Queen of Cups. Somebody could really like doing like bartending, making drinks. They could have a collection of beauty products, or a collection of different, elixirs, and again, like creating drinks and tinctures and all kinds of things. Lots of potions and blends and things. I keep getting mixologist or bartender for her, but normally she's extremely generous, extremely soft energy, lots of truthful conversations, she could definitely be a bartender because of the openness, the non-judgmental attitude, hearing everybody's life story, speaking some truth to them, but in a really kind manner. All of this makes me think maybe the reason she's a great ear for others is because she's gone through her own experiences. We've got a couple of open books. She could be a bit of a philosopher as well as a bartender. But when it came to some experience in her own life, it definitely, she was very wounded, very, very wounded, even though the better part of herself says this too shall heal, and I know that. But she's certainly been in a position of not feeling quite like herself. She's still loving, she's still kind, but when it comes to herself, it feels like she lost some of her mojo. Let's take a closer look at the Six of Wands. We've got the Five of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so we're seeing her starting to improve. We're actually seeing a sweetheart who got hurt, who for a while stopped feeling pretty good about herself, but is getting her mojo back for sure. With that Six of Wands upright, maybe she's remembering that she does something really well. I'm also getting hairdressers, somebody who's dyed their hair pink. We have horses that could be a symbol of the day as well. Also, somebody eating ruby grapefruit for breakfast. But we have her starting to see some things in her life open back up. She's starting to get some wins. She's starting to have some things go right. She may win an award sometime in the next, maybe in this day or in the next couple days. She may win some kind of money along with that award, considering we have the Six of Cups. And, the Four of Swords is there to clarify that Six of coins. So if she's about to receive some kind of, pats on the back, but also possibly a raise or some kind of monetary gift, I think that's actually going to help her quite a bit in the healing process that she's in. It might also help her if she's remodeling something, working on her house. There's something about having a nest egg. The nest is, technically it's somebody's home. So I'm thinking that she's able to have some stress come off of her. She's getting some wins. This all seems like it's possibly because she certainly got betrayed or hurt somewhere along the way. I'm picturing somebody who wears like black fishnet nylon sometimes, kind of has an edgy look to them, possibly a tattoo that has, like a red heart and some wings, but there's definitely like some netting or fishnet nylons or something like that surrounding her, kind of like black leather, I don't know, like I'm thinking like Joan Jett. I'm hearing like Joan Jett music in my head right now. Like I love rock and roll, but I feel like she's also just got like a heart of gold, but kind of like a, badass look to her, kind of a little edgy. But she got really wounded. I mean, she's soft. She's a very soft and loving person who got hurt. And now that she's starting to get some wins again, she's starting to heal, she's starting to see some success in her life. Now that it's starting to come back to her, it's really helping her to heal. I think she's always still helped other people, even when she was hurting, but it's great to see some things coming back around to her. We've got a Page of Cups. We have a new love on the horizon for her. I don't know what hurt her. Can we see what that Three of Swords was? What hurt her? The Empress sideways. Well, this wound may have had nothing to do with romance, but rather it could have been a mother wound, could have been a situation, maybe a difficult relationship with a mother figure. I've just described her as being kind of like edgier look, and then we have this very like refined, almost Victorian looking Empress. The Empress can be a mother figure. If she had clash and conflict with a mother figure that either wasn't able to understand her, wasn't able to support her, maybe because they were just cut from different cloths, or maybe she wanted to go very, like create a different lifestyle for herself than her mother's behavior. Yes, it does come across as a bit rebellious, but there could have been something that she thought was false in the mother figure. Something that was like, yes, you're soft and you're elegant, but there's also possibly something that comes across because the Empress is sideways, where it's like that's more of a facade. Whereas our feminine here, she's genuinely a Queen of Cups. Look, she has a genuinely sweet and kind heart and a very feminine side, but she may have chosen to like take on a more edgy appearance or something, or, this is a storyline that's kind of dealing with breaking cliches. It's like, oh, if somebody dresses like rock star style, then they must be wild. Whereas if somebody dresses like really elegant, prim and proper, then they must be really prim and proper. And none of that actually is true, right? We can wear any clothes. It doesn't actually indicate who we are or what we do for a living. So our wrapping paper, more or less, can really camouflage who we are underneath. So I feel like this is breaking, those stereotypes or cliches, which I like a storyline that, challenges us to look at characters differently. But we can see her wound was something not related to romance. Her wound came from possibly, a relationship, or even a relationship with femininity as a whole. But I'm going to say it was probably a mother wound. And as she's healing and as she's making her way through this world, and I mean, this could be somebody who's, 75 years old, and they still are dealing with the repercussions of a mother wound. This could be a mother figure who's long since passed on over the Rainbow Bridge, and our Queen of Cups, even in her 70s, is still dealing with the aftermath and just now really finding her voice, really finding her true healing, really discovering that she is her own person and not just a product of the Empress. And that seems to bring us around to the best opportunity in her life to have the love story that she'd like to have. There is something also about like how she would choose to parent. I feel like this is a family lineage story that we've got in this particular collection of cards. And to me, it just feels like this is a character who has realized that their entire family lineage, every person gets to decide who they're going to be. And if she has children, she may want her own children to like be better at choosing who they wish to be. There's, again, with the teacup here and maybe it's a French press, but it's a teapot or a French press, but it's like wanting to pour some kind of truth and be one's own self is really important either for her children or in any upcoming romance that she may embark upon. She wants it to be super real, super true. Got a 5 of Cups here as well. That 5 of Cups, I do think that she's had plenty of heartbreak in her life when it comes to love. But I think she's going to fall in love more true, more real, more deeply than she has before now that she has dealt with this mother wound. All this time I've been saying she because we had a queen, but just being mindful that this could be a masculine as well, just in their feminine energy. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us. But it's like love has always come with pain. And I think for the first time ever, we have a character who's getting a second chance at love. Yes, I know it still is the 5 of Cups, but we can see the little hearts in these very expressive eyes on this, I don't know, what would I call that? I guess I could say that that's a lily flower, like an Asiatic lily perhaps. But I just feel like there is some kind of like opportunity still for her, and not even still, but finally is maybe the word I should use. She's finally at a place where she can love without restriction because she's no longer like under the shadow of the Empress. It really feels like this feminine had to break away from a lifetime of somehow feeling second best, or feeling like she had to justify who she was, or even kind of a mother figure who could have been in competition with her. And at long last, that's not what she's all about. She doesn't have to feel that way. With this Ace of Swords, it's amazing. Ace of Swords is clarity. There is genuine healing, and there is a chance for her to do things totally different in her own life now. As a completely healed individual, she has officially cut herself free of more or less the way she was raised, we'll say, and the way she was taught to look at love, or whether or not she was worthy of being loved. She now knows she absolutely is. And I'm thinking that if she had complicated emotions surrounding an Empress, she may feel a lot better now about this mother figure. I mean, to have the 4 of Swords, it means there's been a lot of healing. A lot of healing. Final message on this one for the day. We've got the Star and the Magician. Oh, this is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. A lot of healing is now amplified to like the most profound kind of healing. And she could be reaching new heights in her own career or in her own life. She could be becoming very well known for something that she does. We again see the teapot and the teacup. We keep seeing her like associated with beverages somehow. Maybe she's designing artwork that goes on the front of some kind of beverage. Maybe she works as a barista. Maybe she's owns a business, or maybe she's really talented at coming up with different drinks and, like I said, a bartender or something along those lines. But she's good at whatever it is that she does. Whatever her chosen activity or profession is, she's good at it. And at this point, her knowing that she's good at the thing she's chosen and her own life's choices that she's made, that feels like she can really embrace this about herself. She can genuinely feel successful, not under someone else's shadow. But we definitely have a love story. We have somebody else in her world that thinks of her as a success that she will be able to fully connect to now. We have actually, 2 major arcana here. So we can see that this is going to be a powerful bond. This is that love story, that very open, I'm finally free of the way I used to feel, and I can finally love someone, and I can believe that they can love me, that I'm good enough to love. I think she's about to have a really fabulous relationship with some masculine, possibly a Virgo Gemini masculine. And I think it's because she's no longer under the shadow of that Empress who maybe was like even scolding or telling her how she needed to be, what she needed to do different if she was going to, attract a partner or be lovable. It's like she always came in second best somehow to what the Empress's judgment was of her. Even though that's ridiculous because she's amazing and she's offered so much kindness and help to other people. But I just feel like in this storyline, it was hindering her ability to have a really happy love story of her own because of the influence of the Empress. Because that's where that heartbreak came from. It came from the Empress. So she learned somewhere from the Empress that somehow she wasn't measuring up, she wasn't good enough, and that impacted her romantic life until now. She's free of that now. I'm just loving the healing, and I'm loving the fact that for the first time ever, she can have the kind of love story that she should have always been able to have. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. If you're looking for zodiacs, you can check out the playlist tab, and you will see all the different zodiacs have their own playlist. That's an easy way for you to navigate it. Or you can just go to the live tab on my channel, and you'll see everything that's most recently uploaded, newest to oldest. So you can find daily uploads there as well. All right, thank you so much, guys. Take